Hello and welcome to the Labour Social on Labour Social. It's Friday, the 8th of March 2024. I'm joined by Rachel Harris and John Mortar and Wayne Lynch tonight. Super Tansky is on her way. She's racing to the internet. She'll be coming on in a few minutes' time. And we might have some other guests, I don't know, tonight. But so it's been a momentous week for the Tory party. Their polling has dropped to the lowest it's ever been. And the smallest violins are playing all over the world. And of course, today is International Women's Day. So that's going to be mentioned. And also the fact that, when people say when's International Men's Day, we can say every other day, you fucker. Anyway, so no swearing, obviously. What do you want to kick off with? Do you want to kick off with the budget, or do you want to kick off with Michelle Donnellan and Liz Truss costing the taxpayer £15,000 a pop? One for slagging off slandering academics and causing them to be suspended from their jobs. And the other spent it all on, cocaine and champagne on a flight to Australia. Did you hear about that? Liz Truss, 15 grand, mate, on a flight to Australia. £15,000.
But didn't she, when she was foreign secretary, didn't she spend 150,000 quid on a whole flight? When she should have got on a didn't she do something with that as well?
Yeah. This is on top of the cost of a private jet she chartered to Australia.
Yeah, she could have gone economy, but went. Do you know what? I'm a fucking big deal.
but
I'll put on expenses.
Well, she would have flown business, but the Tories are taxing that now.
All right, fair dues.
So is anyone better off because of the budget? Is anyone doing really well now? Suddenly got loads of money in the bank?
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to come on here because I was just off to buy a new roller.
Yeah,
and a
Ferrari. To paint that spare room.
A roller for your hair to put your hair
in the mansion. Yeah,
I'm only on this show through MSN Messenger. I've got that little internet.
I'm on MySpace. We're coming for the beauty of MySpace. It's all good. Yeah, all right. It's all good.
Friends reunited.
Yeah. Oh, that
Friends reunited.
Didn't ITV buy Friends Reunited for a ridiculous sum of money and then sell it a few years later at a massive loss? And then Murdoch bought MySpace and then sold it a few years later at a massive loss. And the BBC once bought Lonely Planet and then sold it a few years later at a massive loss.
But Graham, Tom is still all of our friends.
He is. There was a massive deletion. They tried to migrate everything from one server to the other, and it ended up like deleting everything.
That was a huge mistake. I remember that because you could be in a situation now where people of my age, perhaps, would go back to how MySpace used to be, just for retro, just for fun and games, and you'd use it. I'd use it again, but they ruined it, didn't they? They absolutely got rid of everybody's content and expected people to stay, and it's like you really haven't got a clue. Yeah. Didn't Justin Timberlake buy it actually?
Did he? That's so random.
Sure, it's Justin Timberlake or someone like him bought it off of Murdoch.
Do you remember it had no ads on it? Do you remember it had no adverts? That seems bizarre now.
Like no, but I think the thing that scuppered them was the fact that you could basically copy and paste a code for any song and put it as your profile song.
Yeah.
And bands were like, hang on a minute. Every time you click on that page, they're playing our song and we're not getting anything from it.
They're getting the advertising, mate. Yeah, exposure. A super chat's just come in already. Thank you very much, Andy, for the first super chat of the night. Graham, please remember that the smallest violin in the world for the Tories' misery is actually a double bass to the Polly Pocket PM. Have some respect. Lol.
Oh.
He is tiny. I don't know if you guys have seen the thumbnail for this episode, but it's a genuine picture of Daniel Kawinski, the tallest MP in Parliament, standing next to Rishi Sunak, and Rishi Sunak is literally half his height. It's kind of like just Oh my god, he is absolutely.
It's like a sort of a parent and child photo, isn't it? School thing. It's incredible. It's just
it's mini me.
Do you know it'd be even worse if he's leaning on his shoulder. That would be just like, oh, bless him.
So yeah, so yeah, we had Liz Truss. It turned out that she spent £15,000 on this flight, and they finally released the information about this on the same day as the budget.
Shocker.
After literally months, maybe years of freedom of information requests being put in and just being ignored, they went, okay, we're gonna put it out. When should we put it out? On the budget day. Puddinator, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. You get a super chat animation. Woo! Is there time to hire Michael Bay to choreograph Starmer's victory speech? After all, it'll be Starmageddon. For the Tories, it'll absolutely be Starmageddon time. And I can't wait. I'm up for that. I think we should have our own sort of version of Dark Brandon meme that goes around with Keir Starmer with those eyes, like laser eyes. Just be like, hey, Tories, Tories, it's Starmageddon. Sorry,
I'm gonna push back on that for Michael Bay. As a massive Transformers fan, all you'd get is orange and blue filters and Starmer standing up at number 10, and then American forces coming
silhouette,
in,
silhouette against a big billowing American flag. Yeah, and then a robot comes and punches someone, and something blows up.
And then Will Smith will walk in.
Will Smith walks in, and then he slaps. He gives Rishi Sunak a slap because he says I'd like to congratulate Keir Starmer on becoming the new Prime Minister, and he just slaps him and says, "Take his name out your filthy mouth."
That's actually not a bad script. For sure.
New script,
I'm going with that. Actually, that's pretty good. Yeah.
We got some more super chats. Thank you very much to Simon, who's dropped £2 in the super chats. What's a Tory's favourite game? Backgammon. Gams. And Sarah S, thank you so much. 20 quid super chat. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, guys. Yay. So that's cool. Thank you very much. Awful joke. Yes, Simon, that was an awful joke. But we love awful jokes here. It's all good. It's all good. And we love a good pun. We're puntastic. We were talking about Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
You said pun, by the
Lord
way.
of puns.
Southerners, you said pun, not porn.
Pun. I ever tell you the time I was up in KFC in the drive-thru up here in Durham?
Here we go.
And I asked for 2 pieces of chicken. That's all I wanted, just 2 pieces of chicken. Because the rest of the family, they got off to McDonald's and they were getting like the drinks and fries and everything. So I thought, I'll just get 2 pieces of chicken and I'll have that with the other stuff. And she said, do you want it on the bun? And I said, I don't want it on a bun. No, I just want pieces of chicken. You know, they come in a box and you get the 2 pieces. She says, no, do you want it on a bun? On the bun. The bun. And like, you know, it's like the sort of things that you talk to in a drive-thru, and it's quite difficult to understand what they're saying. And it wasn't until I actually picked up my chicken and got 2 sorry little chicken strips that I realised she was saying on the bone. The bone.
Geordie.
in Geordie. No, even worse than Geordie. Pitmatic. No, better than Geordie, obviously. Pitmatic, which is the dialect in Durham. It's a bit weird.
I love Phil's joke today about KFC. That would be where the Tories would go and choose their next leader.
He said there'd be so few of them. They could fit in a KFC and choose their new leader.
That's great.
That would be so cool. And then, obviously, look, if the Tories are knocked down to like 25 seats, that's the end of them. Do you know what I mean? Like all business and everything, they're just going to walk away. Just going to,
it's not going to happen, though. Let's be realistic. I think if we can get them down to about 120 to 150, that would be a very, very good result.
Yeah,
very good result. You know, the swing needed. This is what people need to just realise. The swing needed to even get from where they were in 2019 to now to get the Tories at 150 seats is bigger than anything Tony Blair got by a mile. Right. You know, you just got to keep that in mind a little bit.
Sean, you just ruined my buzz.
No, it's still good, man. It's still good. Don't worry.
I agree to an extent, but I think that there's a few differences between now and 97, and I think a big one is social media. Is the fact that everyone has an opinion
without doubt,
now.
yeah.
And like
100%.
People are generally more engaged than they would be because you could avoid this stuff in the past. Like you could literally not read newspapers. But now it's so difficult to avoid Tory sleaze every day because it's everywhere you look. You go on Facebook, someone's going bloody Tory sleaze. You go on any news sites, Tory sleaze. So I mean, I don't know. I think we could be on for quite a shocker. In a good way. Tim, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. I'll give you a little animation. Thanks, guys. You give me hope as someone who is disabled. Oh, thanks, Tim. That's really generous of you. And I mean, one of the things that we try and do on this platform is make it so that all our videos are accessible for if people have difficulties with their sight, because obviously it's all kind of audio. You don't need to see us. And the other thing is that we always try and make sure that all our videos are subtitled. So this should be subtitled. And we were kind of relying on Google's auto captions, which is hilarious because sometimes it gets it horribly wrong, especially with my Scouse accent. But, we do our best. But did anyone notice the newsreader yesterday who accidentally dropped the C-bomb?
That was glorious, wasn't it? That was great.
C unit.
Yeah.
We're talking about Jeremy Hunt, the guy who likes cuts, the man who puts the N into cuts.
Yeah.
But the producer didn't get it, did they? Where was it? Where was that pressing of the dump button at that point?
Well,
let it go.
Let it go. Like Frozen, just let it go. Come on, it's what we're all thinking anyway.
Yeah, the Troll this morning I think they paid them back to back on the Troll podcast this morning.
Awesome,
brilliant
stuff. Right, so Puninator, another super chat. Thank you. Given how scared the Tories are of people, wouldn't them going to KFC count as cannibalism? I don't know. I watched Society of the Snow this week. You know about the Uruguay plane crash in the Andes.
Oh God!
Yeah.
There's been a few films like that, though, isn't there?
Well, there was Alive in 1993.
That's it.
Yeah, but that was like 30 years ago, Wayne. 30 years ago.
Wow. Only
I was
still an adult out of this lot. I went to see that.
So was I, to be fair.
I'm not going to dox my age.
Just.
I sadly was.
I'm OG millennial.
Late Gen X.
Early millennial. I'm like the prototype.
Don't know.
Not some inferior production model. I think you're a Zennial, aren't you, John?
I
don't know. I've always wondered what the hell I fit into, really, because I've never really worked that one out. Even when someone's told me, I'm like, nah, that ain't me. But
So what I like, sorry, Graham, just to cut you off. What I like is a lot of people of my age, like, condemn millennials and say, "Oh, these bloody millennials and their lefty ways and all that." And I'm like, dude, you're a millennial. You're younger than me. You're a millennial.
The big
so like millennials who complain about millennials. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it really is. And the thing is, it absolutely kneecaps them. Absolutely kneecaps them because, like, there's a fellow. I'm not going to put him over. But he was going, all these millennials complaining about this, that, and the other. Why can't they just get on with stuff? And I'm like, dude, you are a millennial. You're complaining about yourself and branding yourself in the same vein. Like, at least research something or a topic before you start broadcasting it.
Yes, indeed. Uh-oh. A wild Tansky appeared. Hello, Tansky.
Hello.
You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Did you do a video today about International Women's Day?
Yeah.
You could say that.
I've not seen it yet. I will watch it after the show.
Oh, it's angry.
But
It's
I've been-
angry. Doesn't apply to you lads, but just a lot of others.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't seen it, but you're probably not wrong.
It's angry. It's really fucking angry, and that's why I've made myself an Indignitash juice from the contents of my cupboard.
Dignitas juice.
Well,
I need one of them.
Do you ever do that where you get to the point where you just make whatever you can?
Yes. And we call it the Esperanza.
Turn
Because it pulls the gums back up over your teeth.
No,
Ouzo, marmalade and salt. It would have been Rick Mayall's 66th birthday yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Gotta miss him. God
Sorry,
damn
Wayne,
it.
what were you going to say, man?
I was going to say, like, you came up in my thoughts earlier because I was at the pub with a bunch of old boys, and they were like going, "Oh, International Women's Day. Oh, when's International Wednesday?" And I was like,
Every fucking day. Every fucking day is International Men's Day.
You think that's bad? I feel sorry for me because
like...
I did the best meta joke ever. I said, "Yay, it's Prince William's favourite day."
It's a brilliant
on Facebook, right? With a little winky face. And honestly, no one got it. No one got it. Because and then I thought back, you have to know that it's International Women's Day. You have to have seen the movie Deadpool. You have to have got the joke in Deadpool. Plus, you also had to understand what pegging was. And you also had to know that Prince William is apparently into it. So,
got it straight
five things that not everyone knows had to work in order for that gag. So, moral of the story is, don't be too cryptic with your gags because no one will get it.
Well, that's a really clear one to me. I mean, as soon as I found out about what happened with Prince William, I posted the GIF from Deadpool, of him biting down on the bed, waiting, and like still, yeah.
But Tam, that's why you're a fucking treasure. That's why you're a treasure.
I'm particularly misanthropic tonight, to be honest with you. Like, I've got no fucks left to give anymore. So. Not with you guys, obviously, but with the world. So, bottoms up.
Bottoms up. Cheers, Tan.
I'll try and be a bit more jolly, but I'm just fucked off. Frankly.
I'm fucked off
Can I
as
just
well.
dive
so
in?
I'm going to join you.
I've just, I don't know. I've literally, this has just come through on my WhatsApp that Sophie Corcoran is one of the Conservative election strategists. Anyone else seen that? This has literally just been sent as a screenshot from, and apparently it's from.
Oh my god! Okay, John, you were saying they might get 100 seats.
Can you share that in the group chat?
Yeah. I'll do it now.
She might get five seats. Sorry, the Tories might get 5. Oh my god!
Campaign manager from November 2023. All right, so she's put it as if she was doing it since last November. But it's just been found on LinkedIn today. So I've just put it in the group chat so you can have a look.
I need, hang on a minute, I might need to tweet this. Hang on. Because this is that. Fuck it.
Live tweeting with Super Tansky. While Tansky is tweeting, we're going to just drop in for this super chat. Thank you to Andy. He's got some tips. Yakult and Bailey's cocktail for the win. Good bacteria. Need the drink as well.
I like it. It does you good.
There you go. And it gets you pissed.
Does you good.
Does you good. Does you good.
Yakult and Bailey's with that.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Good bacteria and good alcohol.
But doesn't the alcohol kill the bacteria?
Yes.
We need to find out.
Oh, kill the bacteria. Oh, that's a point.
That was just the easiest tweet I've ever sent. It's literally just capital letters.
Well, hang on. Just Wayne, wouldn't the bacteria get drunk?
Super bacteria.
Oh no, but it's like mulled wine. Like mulled. How can you get drunk on mulled wine? Because you're basically boiling the alcohol out of it. So
it's the mulls that gets you. I don't know what I'm talking.
Tansky, you've got a super chat here from Tim. It says, my mum in her late 70s loves Supertansky.
Oh, what's your mum's name? She's obviously got a brilliant taste.
Oh, thanks, Tim.
What's your mum's name? Your mum's name.
We'll find out in a moment.
Could you be more Essex than me right there?
I didn't mean to your mum.
Your mum?
Yeah,
Your mum.
Your mum. It just comes out.
See that, Eddie the Eagle Edwards? That's you, that is.
That's you. Oh, that's lovely though. 70 years old, you know. That's like
my mum's 75 this year, and she thinks you're fab.
Was your mum or
come back to Liverpool? She'll make you another roast.
Your mum's roasts are amazing. Who's the super chat person called?
Tim.
Tim? Do you reckon Tim's mum was secretly the woman that vandalised the Thatcher?
Oh yes, that happened this week. There was a 70-odd-year-old woman who was arrested for writing "bastard" on the side of the monument to Maggie Thatcher. Oh my god,
that was glorious, wasn't it? That was just one of the best things I've seen in ages. It's 40th anniversary this week of the start of the miners' strike. So I wonder if that might have been part of why that happened. But
it was just incredible.
Me from the future, I actually went. It's like Back to the Future style. I went into the future from the past into the future. Yeah, that's
kind of how you go back to the future.
Yeah, all right, Wayne. Yeah, you're right. You got me.
Yeah.
You got me. But, no, but it's no, whoever that woman is, like someone shared it today, and I realised that I've been actually sharing her face, so I've been kind of identifying her. So if you know who that woman is, you don't know who that woman is.
All right, yeah, no one knows.
Stitches get stitches, man. You say nothing. It's like if you see someone say baby formula. No, you didn't.
Honestly, though, I mean, just how far. I hope that when I'm in my 70s, 80s, I'm still like fucking shit up. That's my.
I was good in my 70s, but you know, I was pretty active still back then.
in your 70s, how old are you, Rachel?
You're 17.
Is there like a really ropey looking picture in your attic?
There is a really ugly picture in my attic. It's and I'm Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. I told you last time.
There can be only one. There can be only one. So let's talk about this. So this week, one of our friends, India Willoughby, was horribly attacked by J.K. Rowling on Twitter. Like horribly attacked, like for no reason. Just like she just went after her, and like it wasn't just one tweet; it was multiple tweets. Just the richest author in the world having a go at someone.
He's probably got another book out where the serial killer is a trans person again. So she needs to, attack trans people for the publicity.
Well, at least the one good thing that India said came of this is that up till this point, people have gone, "Oh, show me where she's been transphobic. Show me where she's been," and they like now you can just go here.
It's transphobia.
There it is.
Go like here. Right here. There you go. You can see it.
I mean, and the press actually for once picked it up. I mean, I saw it almost immediately after it happened, and I was pretty forthright. I just said, "You're a cunt" to J.K. Rowling, and then I had an entire day of basically cis men telling me that I deserve to be raped.
Well, there you go. That's how it works.
Because that's feminism, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're absolutely insane. They're radicalized. I was on, the Rejoin fellas, Rejoin, Peter. You know what they called the name of the group? Rejoin March fellas.
Reform.
Rejoin. They're just Rejoin EU, aren't they?
The Rejoin March. Yeah. I was on a podcast with them, and we were talking about how these people are radicalized, and they jump on pretending to give a fuck about women, or they pretend to basically just be bigoted towards trans and asylum seekers, like trans people and asylum seekers. But yeah, I didn't even hold back, and I followed it up with another tweet, quote tweeting J.K. Rowling, and then I got an insight into just how bad it is. Like, and I thought, fucking hell, if I'm getting this, at least if they're attacking me, they're not attacking trans people for a bit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was another level. Like it was like the far right, and the TERFs joint forces. They're basically the same thing, I think.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
and
it's a whole incel movement, the hard right. They're all connected up.
Great people, that are really progressive.
Yeah, I often say that when I do ally training. I often say, if you want to know what it's like to be a trans person, go onto X and say, I'm a trans ally, and just wait and then stand back and watch.
And
That's what it's like to be trans.
I'm acutely aware that I don't want to make this about me, but in J.K. Rowling's tweet,
but you're gonna.
No, she said trans allies are essentially paedophiles and sex offenders. That's what she said in her tweet. Because she said, "Oh, you're sticking up for trans people, are you? Well, there must be a reason for that, and i.e. the reason was because you want to attack women."
Bobby Big Bollocks there, with a billionaire or whatever she is, like sitting there, and then the moment that anyone calls her what she is, she brings out the slaps and the lawyers and absolute waste of skin. Like I'm
so disappointed. I'm so
I never liked Harry
Potter.
She thinks she's the double-hard feminist of all feminists, and then when people turn around and say, "Actually, love, you've got this fucking massively wrong."
Love. Actually, sweetheart.
All right, sugar tits.
Cheeks with message. Sweet cheeks.
Calm your tits. You've got this one wrong. You dropped the bollock.
Yeah, but she did. You know, the worst thing she did was she always said, "I'll stand with trans people if there's a march." And then on the day that we were marching in London, I think it was the year before last, there were 6,000 or 7,000 people, trans people marching, and you didn't see that in any of the papers, of course. And we were outside Number 10 protesting. And what she did was she went out to a really posh restaurant in London with 9 of the worst anti-trans campaigners, and there was a Telegraph reporter in the restaurant with her. And that was it.
Please tell me Lawrence Fox wasn't there.
No, he
Lawrence
wasn't.
Fox, who outdid himself this week, saying after £1 million was set aside in the budget for a memorial, a needed memorial, an overdue memorial to Muslims who died 80 years ago fighting for Britain and the British Empire at the time, as it was. And this is going to be in the Arboretum, the military Arboretum in, I think, Staffordshire or somewhere. And Lawrence Fox had a day. He first of all, he said that ADHD wasn't a real thing. And then he went on to say that about this memorial, at last a statue that'll be worth vandalising. And you're like, how is he still allowed?
Alive.
Well, not alive, but I mean, how is he allowed to put this stuff? How is he allowed to put this stuff online? Like, why isn't there like something that will cancel him for being so horrifically obnoxious?
Twitter's even worse now. It's like it was bad before, and it's like the Wild West on crack. It's mental. It's one of the wild apps. I mean, you know, I do often joke that I'd have to get my abuse elsewhere, like if I ever got shut off there, because I'm so accustomed to it now. It all feels weird when I go on other platforms and people aren't that hateful.
And people are nice. Like the people in the chat here are all really respectful and
YouTube's
nice.
ace, man. Like all of my followers on YouTube are lovely. There's a couple of like stray dickheads, but there are everywhere. But it's different on Twitter. You can get swarmed by them, like by the 1,000 in one post.
Oh, you do.
And it's uncontrollable. Like I've got over like 200,000 followers, and even I can't manage it. Like, and it's, you know, your own organic followers can't keep up with bashing them on your behalf. You know, it just gets out of control really quickly, and it's stressful. It's very stressful.
Tan retweeted one of my tweets this week, and I just got like a small taste of what shit you have to put up with.
Every single.
I got over 600 replies on this fucking tweet that I didn't think anyone was going to read, and it was just like, how dare you, because I said, you know what, I'm sick of these rich privately educated people saying Labour and Conservatives are just the same. You know, the rest of us, some of us are really concerned that we will not survive another 5 years of Tory government. And I got loads of people going, I didn't go to private school, I'm not rich. And I'm like, well, I'm not fucking talking to you then, am I? Literally, that was the headline. Do you know what I mean? Like, this specific group of people are pissing me off. Well, I'm not part of that group. How dare you?
Classic Twitter. That's peak Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah.
But a lot of these
I live in a swamp. In a box in a swamp.
Yeah.
And I ate Starmer. All right, mate.
They will be all right either way, most of them that are commenting. And when you point out the fundamental flaw of the first past the post voting system to them, they're like, but I feel this way. First past the post doesn't care about your feelings. We don't like the first past the post works like this. But we've
oh my God, Tan Shapiro.
What? What?
They don't care about your feelings because
No, the first past the post doesn't care about your feelings.
The post doesn't care about your feelings. It's an arbitrary, undemocratic system.
No, I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, but Ben Shapiro, man, come on. Like,
yeah, that's it. I think you need to take that back, Wayne. Wayne, take it back.
Mr. Hughes.
Oh no, it was literally.
It's
it was like
I didn't mean it. Anyway, Puninator dropped a super chat a while ago, so I need to acknowledge that. Thank you very much, Puninator, for the super chat. Thoughts on May's announcement this morning? As in, Theresa May has now resigned. Well, she's going to resign. She's not going to stand again for the Tory party. She won't stand for it. And people are trying to say, "Oh, well, she was all right, wasn't she?" She wasn't.
She wasn't.
Fucking arsehole.
Anybody? Fucking Windrush. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
But it's that Alexa Sale joke. I know I've told it on here before. It's that, how is it going to be to make Rishi Sunak look reasonable like Theresa May? You know, when the intergalactic zombie lords land on Earth and suck our brains out through our eyes, well, Sunak doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah, she wasn't Boris Johnson, isn't saying much, is it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think she knows the game is up, possibly in her seat, actually.
Yeah. I think they'll bump her into the Lords.
Maidenhead, that's not far from you, is it?
Lib Dem target.
Is it, sorry, is it 27 years she's been there?
It's oh God, yeah, something like 27 years, yeah.
270 years more like.
Yeah.
By the looks of things.
It was the cough that did for her.
Yeah.
And the sign falling down.
And the sign falling down.
Yeah, all right, mate. I mean, the thing is though, people like, I mean, by the standard of absolute dickhead that followed her, anything would make her look good. I mean, when you're followed by Johnson, you're in there, no matter who you are. I mean, like my cat in a bow tie, if it was Prime Minister and was followed by Johnson, would look like fucking the political brain of the century, wouldn't it? Like that's the point.
No,
I mean,
but sorry.
No, I'm just going to say she presided over some of the most horrifically racist shit imaginable.
Windrush.
He was like many women ousted by the Conservatives. They claim they're progressive for getting women in, but then you oust them pretty quickly.
There was the go home trucks as well.
Yeah, well, that was a hostile environment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then,
hostile environment.
The real racist shit.
But she did bring, she was she was a contradiction because she did want to introduce a self-ID for trans people and introduce that at number 10 at a cocktail party and the LGB survey, which of course they then ignored. And then of course they threw us under the bus on self-ID. But it was weird that she brought that in. That was like a small contradiction of all the other horrible stuff she did. And of course, then obviously along came the Boris bomb.
A donor. It must have been a donor that was giving her money that was into that. I mean, so that's all they work for.
Yeah.
That donate to them. So maybe they had a kind of trans ally donor at that point.
Wow. I'd love to meet that person.
I mean, that would be very unusual. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a total contradiction in terms, wouldn't it? I mean,
Ernie in the chat is saying May is the perfect example of the banality of evil.
It's a bit strong.
I
don't think it is a bit strong, to be fair. But all this talk of May is making me, maybe they're trying to like put May in your head in a different context because it's looking a little bit unlikely. I've never been a believer in the May election anyway. I mean, they've still got some time to do it. But I've never been convinced by a May election.
Well, if you look after the David Cameron resignation after Brexit, it's just been a cascade of shit, and there's been nothing good coming out of that particular party. No one's actually sort of like risen to the top and gone, do you know what, I'm gonna fucking fix this. No one.
Nah, you're right.
But they care about fixing it. I mean, austerity was just basically patting the bankers on the job for fucking the country and making poor people pay for it, and then they
and blaming Gordon Brown.
Yeah.
The gold.
Do you know what? We're lucky though, because just think we could have had chaos with Ed Miliband. So, you know, got away with that one.
Where's my sandwich? Where's my sandwich?
Sandwich.
I mean, there is a sliding doors moment in which there's another parallel universe where Ed Miliband didn't eat a sandwich like a bit of a wanker.
Or just not lose Scotland. If you hadn't have lost Scotland,
true.
It could be very different.
We've got a couple of super chats, so thank you very much to Alec Barrett, who says, "Oh, the lady I'm dating called Joanne Rowling Vernon Dudley." It's a strange name. And then Joanne Mason, super chat, thank you very much. It's a sign. May resigns, May election. It's in the tea leaves, people. How's everyone feeling about a May election?
I still think it will be, actually.
John,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
So,
I do.
Rachel,
I still think it's going to be May.
Yes?
May. I mean, they're bombarding
May?
Facebook with Rishi adverts.
Tan,
So that costs a lot of money.
Are you saying May? Tan?
as I was saying, I've never been convinced by it. Never.
Okay,
ever
not
been
convinced. Wayne,
No.
May or November?
I would say May, because people are too lazy to think about politics in that period because they're thinking about summer holidays.
Should we do a sweepstake in the chat, right? Of
that's a good shout.
The person that's wrong needs to, instead of maybe for money, the person that's wrong needs to do a dare.
A forfeit. A forfeit.
Forfeit or a dare of the chooser of the people that win it. I wouldn't bet on it being May. Mind you, the thing that maybe makes me think that it's not necessarily out of the question is the fact that they're going mental with all this NIC stuff, like all the national insurance stuff, because they've realised the budget was about as popular as a wank in a park, and now they're like, oh, what can we go with now? What can we go with now? Let's scrap that, even though it's as mad as a maths enterprise as Truss is fucking cuts. So I'm thinking that them scrabbling around like that. But then on the other hand, if he holds off until November or doesn't call it until November and it goes into the next year, he's got a little bit extra on his CV of how long he was Prime Minister, however disastrous. And but if they don't do it in May, they're going to get absolutely wiped out because we're going to do our council election, local election campaign.
I'll tell you why it's not going to be in November, because that's when the American election is.
Well,
I don't think that would necessarily go against them.
But I mean, you have to watch. I mean, I don't know if any of you watch Phil Morehouse. I do. He's got his three. You know, more boats over the summer because the better weather that will look bad for him. More people coming out on the mortgages. That's going to look bad for him. And their voters are dying. That was in Phil's video. That
they are.
So they've got to go now. Otherwise.
Also, a big one as well is that in November, all the students are going to be back at university to vote, whereas in May, you get a little bit of a mixed match of who's going to be where. So the student vote will be higher in November as well, and the student vote are not going to go Tory, are they? So
most
we've got that too.
Over 65s aren't either. Like they're starting to like even lose the over 65s, which is like their core demographic.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Ones that aren't dying are voting fucking Labour. It's like, yes, this is what we need.
And the other thing is this fact you now have to turn up with like photo ID when like that's never been a thing. That's never been a thing, and that is literally ripped straight from the Republican idea of like how can we suppress the vote?
It's
let's have a photo ID.
No, it is. And also you look at the list. I mean, this was brought in last year. You look at the list, like young people's rail cards not accepted, older people's rail cards are. Young people's like this isn't accepted, but the equivalent for an older person is. Like it got to the point where all an older person had to do was turn up with like a sketch that their kid had done of them, their grandchild had done of them, like a loose fucking crayon drawing, and they'd gone, yep, that's you, in you go. Whereas young people, their options were like massively stripped. It was really bad. It is blatant voter suppression.
But the science and the boundary change for another
gerrymandering, otherwise known as
my partner, she's trans as well, and when we went to vote in the elections in the council election, she said, so here's my whatever we brought, and said what's the rules for looking at the photograph and making a determination on if this. oh, that's us. We just, if it looks like you, you know, we're all right. And it's like, wow, it's just, it's really, really subjective on the people on the day in your village hall.
The thing is,
I'm just going to jump in because we had a super chat from Puddinator. Thank you very much. Given Cameron's history with piggies, going on about Miliband's bacon sandwich is a bit rich. I think we'll have a summer election, maybe June, with some Puddinator. And I ran a poll while everyone was chatting. When's the election going to be? May got 79%. November got 10%, and January got 9%. Now, here's why Phil thinks it's going to be May.
He's got a bet on it.
No, he's bet on it, yeah. But also, there are going to be, whether the Tories like it or not, there's going to be local elections in May. If the Tories get absolutely decimated in those local elections, there's a good chance they'll try and go for a new leader before the general election, which won't be great for Rishi Sunak. It'll be better for him to go down with the ship.
Fuck off, no.
And just before I let Wayne speak, sorry, Wayne. Questionable Absanity, thank you very much. £5 super chat. Just finished finding out who Sophie Corcoran is. You guys owe me 40 IQ points, which I seem to have lost during that diversion.
Sorry.
Your IQ points are in the post.
Yeah, you many on her. Sorry, Wayne.
No, my point was going to be, if there is going to be a change of leadership in the Conservative Party, who in the fuck are they going to put in?
Kemi Badenoch.
Look at the state of them.
Kemi.
No.
Kemi Badenoch wants it.
Kemi Badenoch.
No,
or Braverman.
It'll be Morden.
But who's going to want to do it though? I mean, yeah, all right, they're Tories, but and they know they're going to lose. But who realistically is going to want to do that, knowing it's the election that is up anyway?
Yeah,
because
they have the legs to go after, haven't they?
Even a Tory, even someone like Badenoch will think, yeah, I'm just going to be in for a couple of months and I'm out again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think the fight really is for the soul of who gets it after the election, because whoever gets the leadership after the election is going to really, that's going to, the direction of the Tory party really is going to go one way or the other. And those on the right hand side of their party, I think in a way, I've got a feeling that the Bravermans and the likes, they possibly want to lose the election because they've got safe seats anyway, Braverman, really. So is Badenoch, even though it's up here.
Catherine Walden, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be Northwest Essex. So I think it's going to be a split opposition there. You've got Priti Patel, Whittam. That's as we all know, that's never going to go anywhere but Tory. So I almost feel that they wouldn't be too as disappointed to lose an election, just for the reason being that, you know, they can be in the right position to take the leadership over, but they're not going to want to do it before an election. I mean, you know, a month or 2 months of being prime minister. I mean, all right, Liz Truss will still
Boris
be the winner
Johnson
on that, but you know,
if they have the election in December,
he did, but Johnson was in a position where he knew he had a very good opportunity to win the election, really, didn't he? I mean, you know, as much as I hate to admit it, you just knew they were going to win it. And
it was a horrible
unfortunately
feeling.
the opposition blinked and they agreed the election, and the rest is history. But
I've got a very similar feeling to what I had in 2019 about this election in America with Trump.
No, not having it. No, Trump's going to lose. Don't go down there. You've got to have faith, not hope.
But I don't have a lot of faith in general. I'm a bit of a cynic, but also I realised like every billionaire and tyrant in the world wants Trump to win.
Yep, 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
because of his erratic nature, he's not going to be a traditional politician, which he's not, and he just does what he wants to do to suit his own agenda. Whereas if you had like someone like Obama, or even like going back to sort of like Reagan, they would do stuff like by the letter of the law.
Yep.
He will not.
No, he won't. And he'll put billionaires in prison as well. He's get jealous of their money. I'll make them sign stuff and lock them up.
But this is why enemies of America, this is why leaders of Russia and China, Saudi Arabia, all who want America to fail, because that'll mean more money.
Yeah, I agree. Somehow. I still think
they are all backing Trump. And all the billionaires. It's like the billionaires in this country all back the Tory
But they only get
party.
one vote.
No, but they spend a lot of money.
Yeah, they do. I think people have already decided. I think
one of the reasons why I'm not particularly a big fan of referendums, generally speaking, whichever side spends the most on campaigning wins the referendum.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a brilliant. Sorry, Tam, what are you going to say?
Sorry to interrupt you. I just said who funded Vote Leave? Hedge funders. Today. And what did he
Shorten
do?
the pound.
20 million the day after the pound crashed because
making money out of our misery. Disaster capitalists.
I mean, as I said to you many times, watching Midas Touch and David Patman, and I sat up all night. I watched the State of the Union address last night in the middle of the night, and it was one time.
Bloody nerd.
I am. Because I'm trans, like Project 2025, we're all going to be sex offenders and locked in prison camps. We're going to be the first to go, and I have to believe that is not going to happen, and he's going to knock it over. But you look at the polling where he's, in the strong states where Trump is winning, he's not getting, he's got the best day on the best day ever. He got about 70%, but 30% said they're not going to vote for him of Republicans. He's got one half of the women in America. Well, 2/3 of that one half aren't going to vote for him because they're angry about abortion. And then you've got the Gen Zs coming up. I have to believe that he's not going to do it because, when you get rid of all the CNN polling and all the MBSB, you go to the real stuff that's going on. And they've got their versions of Phil Morehouse there cranking away going, he's not going to do it. He's not going to get over the line. And they're quite quiet at the moment. But there's a lot of pollers saying he's not going to do it. The press is going to tell you that he's going to do it, because if they don't, you're not going to watch it. You're going, he's not going to win. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to go and watch the A-Team. But if they keep saying he's going to win, people are watching it going, I've got to watch this.
I think you're right, Rachel. And also one of the sort of other reasons I've got for saying that I think Trump will win is that if there are any Americans watching this, they'll think, shit, I can't afford not to vote.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to jump in, if there are any Americans watching this right now, Rachel pronounced the word Z correctly.
Rachel, stop saying Z, you bunch of twats.
I think that with Rachel, I agree with what you just said, actually, because I'm going back to 2016, and I remember speaking to, because of my links with the band Rage Against the Machine, I knew a lot of their management and a lot of their people. And I was on a really, really good conference call with about 4 of them that were all sort of situated out in California, and one was in Utah, and it was incredible. I was the only British guy on there, and this was just before the election. And most of them were hardcore Democrat, what have you, really, really, despise Trump. But I have to say, they were actually going, no, Trump's going to win. And obviously, I'm from over here in the UK. I'm going, get out of it. There's no way Trump's going to. Shut up, man.
New York, then get out of here.
Get out of here, man. But they were saying, no. We think Trump's going to win for the reason being that there's so many that don't like Hillary on our own side that so many are just going to vote for Trump because they don't think he's going to win. But actually, he could get enough votes to win it, genuinely. So. That was a lot of the underlying feeling in 2016. They didn't want him, but they thought, no, he's actually probably going to win. But this time round, I agree with you. I do think that they knew what happened last time. It'll be tighter. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be just 272, 273 college votes. Probably that'll be all that will do it. But
Biden will win a popular vote.
I don't know if my heart can take it. Listen, just before we go on, Wayne, I'll come to you in a moment. We've got some super chats to get through. People are complaining now that I'm always interrupting. I was like, well, if I've got to acknowledge super chats. Puninator, thank you very much. Summer election. Sunak chickens out of May election. Then combo of locals and boats weakens him, and it's a panic snap election. So that's an interesting take there. So maybe a June election. Sarah Davis, thank you very much for the super chat. Have you heard about Rishi's mother-in-law? Well, I know that his father-in-law is one of the richest men in India, and he owns Infosys, but I haven't heard about the mother-in-law. So, Sarah, if you want to enlighten us, I will read your comments as they come. Thank you very much for the super chat. Johnny Copperhead, also, there'll be a choice of about 3 of the buggers if things keep on as they are. Talking about, I don't know, the Tories. And then thank you very much for the super chat. And also Alec Barrett, who's given £5 and says, the keys to the White House prediction model says Biden wins. Also, Biden has one billionaire on his side, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Also back in 2016, the Democrats went out and shot themselves on 3. Michael Moore did a documentary. There was the whole Flint water scandal and Biden. Yes. There was the whole what they did to Bernie Sanders as well. I mean, the stuff was, you know, so a lot of Democrats didn't go out and vote because they were so upset about what they did to Bernie. So it was there was a lot of that whole.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I mean the fact 100%. Is that. And I mean, the American networks are banging on about Biden's age, but he's got forgetfulness because of his age, but he hasn't got dementia. But what all the networks that, like our networks here, the good networks, are showing is that Trump's melting down. His brain is mushing. There's some great videos this week of him just saying the weirdest stuff on his. The guys behind with the boards going, "Yay, Trump!" What?
The whole 9 months thing, like women are giving birth in 9 months.
Yeah.
What happened to you, fucking mentalist? Like, and they will, with Trump, it's almost like someone shook up a can of spaghetti and just.
But the best one, the best one was he was going Saudi Arabia, I swear to God, go and look at it. It's so funny. And Michael Cohen went. Michael Cohen went, he just shit his nappy right there. That's what he did. Boris, what's he calls him? He calls him Donald von Schützenpants.
Even Fox are losing their rag with Trump because he's still banging on about how the vote was rigged and it was stolen and all that. Now to this day, he was on.
Do it again.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Yeah. You know, that's just victim complex, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is,
billionaires with a victim complex, piss off.
Fox are telling you, mate, like, no, you've got this wrong. Come on, let's move on and see how are you going to win this new election. And he's still like going, but I didn't lose the last election.
That was the funniest Trump
you fucking did
I've ever heard in my life. That was like, that was the campest Trump. Do it again, Wayne. Do it again.
No, because you're gonna mug me off forever for it.
I'm gonna go back and find this live stream. I'm gonna record.
Yeah, clip it.
Brilliant.
Clip it. We'll add that to the archive of the damned.
Chat. Like repeatedly.
Also, though, just constitutionally, if he did win the last election, he can't go into this one anyway.
Yeah.
To the Constitution. So he's
very
this
good
is
point.
what I don't get.
Love that. Oh, I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
An insurrection, for fuck's sake. He created an insurrection.
Yeah, he did that. And if he did win the last election and Biden lost it, he's not allowed to enter this election anyway.
Yeah.
And that's I just don't understand what his supporters don't. Yeah. Someone's not saying something out there going, right.
Well, it's
what they should say.
Dissonance, isn't it?
Yeah, but what they should say, actually, everyone should turn around in America and go, do you know what, Donald, you're right. We've just checked the numbers. You did win the election. But you're up for election now, so you're not allowed, I'm afraid, because you've done your 8 years, I'm afraid. Yeah. So see you later.
Like
it's the money thing, though, isn't it? It's always about the money.
Just a couple of chats.
Sorry, Wayne.
Quickly, let me quickly do this. Tan, if you do clip that, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to paint on your door. I'm a Tory.
Wayne. What's got into him tonight?
Have any hands?
There's no need to be like that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, she was mean to me. I'm being mean back.
You'll be Mr. Bat if you do that.
Disproportionate, Wayne. It's like, I'll repeat that thing you said.
All right, I've got a bat. I've got a good aluminium bat, and I know how to swing it. So
excellent. Right. So I've got to interrupt everyone here to say, Punninator dropped in a super chat. Thank you very much, Punninator. Punninator says, Graham, stop interrupting the guests.
He's not.
So sorry about that. And there's a great super chat that's coming from Brad. Thank you very much, Brad. Trump owes at least $350 million in legal fees. He could raise that in a week by simply leaving the EU. Which I thought was very
like
good. Emma, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm late to the party, been to a campaign meeting. Good to see you all, but especially Tan. Good to see you back on here. You're getting some love there, Tan. Excellent.
Thank you.
And Real Phil has dropped in. Real Phil, is Phil watching us? Seriously hope that UK has seriously hope that the UK has a general election in May because they couldn't hand simultaneous US and UK general elections. The media coverage would be intolerable, personally.
Like
Real Phil, I absolutely agree. And then one last super chat. Attila, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. If the election isn't in May, Sunak will be gone by June and the election will be in January. Okay, right. I'll just sit back and drink some wine now.
Can I just quickly interject and respond to a super chat that we just had about crosstalk and interruption? This is the conversation that we would all be having down the boozer right now.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like a little back and forth. There's going to be disruption. There's going to be sort of like, I'll shut up. Let me say me bit. So please don't think any of us is trying to be superior to anyone else. It's just a case of like, we're on the internet. So there's going to be cross chat. That's it.
Bastards as well, like a lot of us. So
yeah, but if ADHD was a thing, which it isn't because Lawrence Fox says it isn't.
Oh, you're just naughty. You're just naughty.
Does he? Is that when he goes out to his nightclubs and he does ADHD?
There's ADHD.
I'm off my head on ADHD, man.
What he thinks it is. I mean, did you see him being pictured with little tiny Tommy Robinson?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Is he a little bloke? Is he actually a little bloke? Like,
I reckon he's about the same height as me, and I'm about 5'4". So
okay.
Who we talk about? Sorry, Tommy 10 names or Vox?
Lennon,
Yaxley Lennon.
Stephen Yaxley Lennon.
He's like an evil hobbit.
Lawrence, he's like an evil hobbit, and Lawrence.
Gollum.
Yeah.
It's fucking Gollum.
Fucking Gollum. Who also had more than one name. So there you go. Do you reckon he talks to himself? And he's like, Tommy, you're my friend, aren't you, Tommy?
Here's
like,
Tommy.
My name's Julian. I don't know who you are.
Looking in the mirror. Looking in the mirror, guys.
Just having this conversation with himself. Julian.
Why aren't on GB News anymore?
No, you're Stephen. You're Stephen.
We had some good news this week, Tan, didn't we? Because Talk TV is no longer on the TV. What are they going to call it now? Talk?
Crap TV.
I mean, there was Julia Hartley Brewer, right, desperately tweeting.
God.
I was like, get more desperate, Julia, please. It sustains me. Get more desperate, you can't.
Someone mentioned in the chat that she joined on the J.K. Rowling pile
shocker.
on
and
India.
she was another person I had to publicly call a cunt. I mean, I just, you know.
Well, she is. She is vile. She is truly vile. 100%. If I could ask her 100%. One question, it would be, why do you hate your children so much?
Yeah, massive.
To which she'll say, I don't hate my children. I love my children. I say, yes, but you go out to make yourself the most disliked woman in British political discourse. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
And when you cark it, people are going to celebrate and your children will have to see that.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Why would you put them through that?
Yeah. Climate's annoying.
No one at a funeral going, oh, she was lovely.
The stuff she said on the care of trans kids was so. I watched her on Talk TV about a month ago. The stuff she was saying, all of it was lies and wrong And you just think, where, God, do I write a thing to Ofcom about this? What's the
What's
point?
the point? Ofcom is basically like a branch of the fucking government. So's the other one. What's it called? The Ipsos.
Oh yeah, they're rubbish.
Ipsos.
I mean, if you look, the guy that was trying to be the guy that was eventually made BBC chair, Richard Sharp, by Johnson after sorting grand loan for him. He also, I believe, he was the guy that also tried to go for Ofcom head, the head of Ofcom. I think it's the same guy. I've got kind of a pretty good knowledge for this usually, but they decided not to. But instead, he got the BBC chair job, and then there's other people at the head of the BBC that are massive raging Tories.
Wasn't that the guy that Boris Johnson tried to?
Yeah, he was the guy from the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Wait, you talking about?
Is that the same guy?
What, Tim
No, Boris Johnson, didn't he put up
Sharp you talking about?
No, Boris Johnson put up one of the Daily Mail guys up.
Oh, he did actually, didn't he?
Yeah.
You're right.
Definitely not Geordie, because Geordie got sacked after printing the truth on the front of the Daily Mail about I think it was one of the dodgy ones. I think it was the one that was working in the Cayman Islands or working for another government whilst working for the British government.
Oh, that was Geoffrey Cox. That was Geoffrey Cox. No, it wasn't. It wasn't just that he was working for another government. It was the UK Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, and he was actively working against the British government by advising the government of the BVI's on how to do a trade deal that would screw us.
That's it.
This is Geoffrey Cox, former Attorney General. He was the Attorney General when they illegally prorogued Parliament.
Yeah.
And he's still in the job.
That said the limited and specific way we are going to break the law. That was him, was it? Geoffrey Cox, I think.
Might have been. I don't know. He's the one with the big
I know
voice.
that George lost his job for printing the truth about that on the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
And then I think there was that other dickhead, wasn't there, who also what was the one pre-Pincher who they tried to break, like Johnson tried to meeting at the Carlton to save him. It was pre-Pincher. What was the name of that other dick?
Is that the one they tried to change the rules for?
Owen Paterson.
That's the one.
Owen Paterson.
Oh, there's so many of them. We were talking about this afternoon about just how many bad things the Tories have done, and like trying to read a book on all the things that they've done. Like if you read A Decade in Tory by Russ Jones. Really good book, but oh my god, there's so much in it. It's like this thick.
It goes on and on.
It's
huge.
You
forget the fuel shortages and the
and we forget.
We forget all
so
that.
much we forget.
Yeah.
There's so much of it. It's like War and Peace.
Don't forget the death rate before COVID. Thanks to Ian Duncan Smith and friends.
This government has killed probably over 350,000 British people through COVID and austerity. That is mental. Like, and there's apparently they reckon that 500 people a week are dying because the NHS is in crisis. That could be saved. So add on top of that, and that I mean, the figures that I was quoting only go up to, I think, last year, and it was only, I think it was before the cost of living crisis that they estimated 4.2 million kids are living in poverty before the cost of living crisis. And they go, did you see that really disturbing intro that Kunzberg did the other morning about the budget, where she actually prefaced it's probably not going to be much pixie dust in there because of the war in Ukraine. And don't you remember we had a fuel crisis before Ukraine, like a major rise in energy bills? And we had excessive waiting lists and poverty before COVID. But obviously about Brexit, so we got an absolute fucking melon in control of the worst possible time.
Well, TLG Parent in the chat is saying, like, Labour need to have a billboard with every transgression since 2010 in every constituency. You wouldn't fit it on a billboard?
You're not going to fit it on the Shard.
It's the new 100 billboards.
To your point, Tan, before the Ukraine invasion happened, all we was getting on our legacy media was, Russia are like preparing to invade. They was showing pictures of like columns of tanks and all that kind of stuff. Why the fuck did we not do anything then? We waited for it to happen, and then we all fucking suffer.
Well,
do you know what I mean? It's just
probably because the Tories are funded by Russia. They've taken 60. They took 60 grand in the 6 months after Russia invaded from Russian donors. Lyubov Shnurkin, Putin's ex-minister's wife, donated excessive amounts to the Tory party and had regular weekly meetings with our Chancellor and Prime Minister and played fucking tennis with him. It's because the Tories are up to their balls in Russian funding and influence, and that's why they've not released the unredacted Russia report, and that's why they allow London to be used.
They never will. They never will.
They're up to their balls in it. And you look at what, like, Johnson, Lebedev made a lord, partied with KGB agents. Right after the Salisbury poisoning, which was basically the Russians committing a terror attack on our soil.
Yeah.
This is why. And also the violinist that he's alleged to have shagged and got up the duff. Did I say that?
Yeah. That's what he did.
No, I didn't hear you.
He paid a different American woman. He paid £128,000 of taxpayers' money to fuck her on the couch while his family were, his wife was getting. Well, no, it wasn't quite on the timeline of it getting treated for cancer, but you're
talking about the Canadian hairdresser then?
No, the American woman.
No, the violinist, wasn't it? Was it the?
You're talking about the violinist. That's somebody else, but yeah.
No, you're talking.
Oh, the one that looked like Gaza.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Jennifer Okari.
Jennifer Okari. She looks like, she looks like Gaza with a wig. Go and look at a picture of Gaza and then put a blonde wig on him, and you've got Jennifer Okari. You have.
That's fucking amazing.
Happy International Women's Day, everyone. Moving swiftly on.
John Morser.
Can I just do a couple of super chats and I'll come back to you, Tan? Damien, thank you very much. I have the privilege of going to the Palace of Westminster every day. I overhear things I'm not allowed to share, but my money is on a May general election. So there you go from Damien. Lee, £5 super chat. Thank you very much, Lee. Very generous. With Talk TV online only and GB News like to follow, it's outside Ofcom's rules and doesn't even need to have any balance at all. It's like it had any balance in the first place, Lee. And Johnny Copperhead there with the £5 super chat. Thank you so much, Johnny. Tan, reclaiming the female vernacular. You canting tell them, girl.
About the cunt word.
Yes, the C unit word. And also people have been throwing in words to describe Julia Hartless-Brewitt. We've had Julia Hartless-Spewer, Gulia Fartley-Sewer, Uria Fartley. There's some good. Gulia Fartley-Sewer. That is brilliant. That's almost onomatopoeic for what she is.
It's very good.
It's very good. Very good. I appreciate it. I'm
just sad that we stopped. You caught me mid-rinsing Boris Johnson, man. Like, it was... I've forgotten how much I enjoy it.
Yeah, go back to rinsing Boris Johnson.
I don't know what I was going to say.
There's
I think
so much stuff that he did that he got away with. Dawn Sturgis was the name of the woman that was killed. British woman killed by Russian agents with a nerve agent on British soil. And Boris Johnson responded to this by going to a piss up with a bonga party with no doubt lots of cocaine and sex trafficked women. So when Theresa May says, I'm going to resign now after the next election and I'm going to concentrate on helping people who are being sex trafficked, I'm like, and modern slavery, I'm like, oh, like you helped with your foreign secretary who was at a party with women who would have absolutely, sue me if I'm wrong, but there would have been women who were sex trafficked at that party.
Statistically, like one of them could have ended up being his own kids. He's like a cunty Pat Mustard. Like everywhere he goes, it's like village of the damned, man. Like just everywhere. Like he goes to America and like 9 months later, there's like loads of like thick blonde.
My daddy.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, the guy is a relentless shagger. I don't understand why.
Cunty Pat Mustard.
Looks like a bunch of.
In a very
Melchett. I'm writing that one down.
Yeah, I was literally about to say. You know when Melchett writes down words in Blackadder Goes Forth, going, "I'll use that one later, darling." I've just written that down. Actually,
I've written it
comes
down
from
as
Pat
well.
Mustard.
I've already paused.
I'm having that with gobbledygook.
Dun, 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 dun. It's like going from fucking house to house. Just, but he does look like blancmange squeezed into a glove. I don't get it. Like, how the hell could you even go anywhere near it?
There's just no accountability at the minute. There's just like literally nothing.
No.
No one gets pulled up. No one gets held to account at all. No one.
Well, this
they
is
just
this
go,
is something
"Oh, I
that
resign."
mentioned. I did the pre-record for the Sunday roast with Max and Alex this afternoon, and so
excellent.
this is going out before that because that goes out on Sunday. So I'm going to say it again.
Oh, I
I used to say that the Tories, like, you know, there's one rule for us and there's one rule for them. You know, one law for us, one law for them. But actually, I've changed my mind. It's reality. There is one reality for us, and then there is a completely different reality for the people in charge, the Tories, the billionaires, you know, the oligarchs. They live like such a different experience of life than what everyone else does.
Fucking hell!
But it gets worse, doesn't it? Because
sorry, my cats are being.
It gets worse though, isn't it? Because the longer you're in power, you know, you can gum up IPSO, you can gum up Ofcom, you can gum up the Equality and Human Rights Commission with all your people. So you know, and Trump comes in and he's not accountable, and Boris comes in and he thinks this is a good idea, I can lie and not be accountable. But then you gummed up all the things that would hold you accountable with all your people. And then by the time you've been in 14 years, there's nobody that's going to call you into account, unless people who are going to vote you out, who are sick of it. And even then, all the people you've corrupted can't keep you there. And that's where we are.
That's a great summation of it, really, because we're 14 years deep in this mob, and they've basically cemented their own positions, so people can just walk off and go, "Oh yeah, I did a bad thing, but now I'm going to go and work for Facebook. Now I'm going to go and work for Google." It's a complete shit show.
Any in the chat says shitloads of rules for us and absolutely no rules for them.
That's right.
Rachel, I'll come back to you in a moment because I've got a bunch of super chats to go through again. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna complain. This is a brilliant one from Jez Hunt. Thank you very much for the super chat. Talk TV will start an online channel called Only Gams.
Jennifer Akura will start one called Only Gaz.
No, Only Gams.
Only Gams. Love it.
I heard.
Questionable Loud Sanity, thank you very much for the super chat. Since it's International Women's Day, I will take this opportunity to mention my 3 top women: Sophie Scott Brown, Rachel Donald, and Helen Zarsky. And we've got Puninator. Thank you very much for another £5 super chat. I imagine Bojo in that Family Guy episode where Quagmire travels around the world to find all his kids. Yeah,
but at least Quagmire was funny.
Yeah, it was.
and Quagmire would probably find all of his kids.
Yeah. Vendetta saying, what the fuck is Pat Custard? Pat Mustard was a character in Father Ted who was the father of many of the children in Craggy Island.
Hairy babies.
Hairy babies.
That's just reminded me of Pat Mountain. Remember Pat Mountain, the interim UKIP leader? Like, pick a Toast of London name out of the air and then give them a UKIP name.
Clem Fandango, can you hear me, Clem? Sorry, Rachel, I did interrupt Rachel because Rachel was
I can hear you, Pat Mountain.
I'm going to change it. Did you see that Dan Wootton's also going to start a YouTube channel as well?
Oh, for God's sake.
Did you see Lawrence Fox's? Like, he got, like, we've got, I think, on a bad night, what he got really trying hard. I think he got like 600 views on his YouTube live or whatever. Yeah. And I get like I've got like 30,000 followers, and I get like about 20 to 50 on a good video.
Well, we've had the total number of checked in to watch this stream is 1,388.
Wow.
How many?
Well done.
Thank you, everyone.
One of those.
Actually, 1,392. That's like people have checked in and checked out, and we've got 335 concurrent viewers. He had about 600 people watching him, and he's dead famous. And he's got apparently lots of people who really love what he has to say because he tells it like it is. And he had 600.
Wow.
He had
I wonder how
600
many
people
of those
watching.
people calling in watching were ex-ULEZ cameras.
To be fair, Graham, I spent like 30 quid on some St. Petersburg bot farm. So
okay,
sorry about
fair
that.
enough. There you go. That's why people are watching us. We're being watched by bots
these days. In my day, it was Indonesia.
What's with the strange knowledge of Father Ted? That's how you can check whether they're bots or not. Pop culture, mate. That's why we always try to put loads of pop culture into the material that we make. It just weeds out all the bots,
you have to feed them. You have to feed them.
You got everyone. People say, "Cup of tea, Father." Careful now in the chat. You know they get it. They get
tea, then, Father. Will you have a cup of tea?
See the chat tonight. Like normally we can see it to the side, Graham, but I can't actually.
I know because I've changed it so that I'm actually. My output is going to you, and you can just see me in the output rather than the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Graham's the driver.
Yeah, you are the daddy.
Took me ages to suss that one out. It's just a setting. It's just a setting. I didn't notice.
Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that again.
But
you don't used to call Graham the daddy.
What? I'm not the daddy. Nothing to do with me. Anyway, I had a good mention. Ernie in the chat. Thank you very much, Ernie. Ernie always puts really good stuff in the chat. He put Greta Thunberg is a great international woman.
Perfect.
And Greta is an anagram of great.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Did you say that high
yeah,
risk
you've literally just got to move.
It's an anagram of Rishi Sunak.
I just want to say though, right? There's a lot of people who really hate Greta Thunberg because she's trying to change the world, and that pisses people off.
She's a young woman, that's why.
She's a young woman saying what she thinks. But I have so much respect as someone who has travelled extensively on boats around the world. What she did,
that quiet,
getting on a boat to cross the Atlantic in winter. That is something I wouldn't. At the age of like 15, oh my god, that is just
strong stomach.
Yeah, for the
had fish. So
all of these people who just have like this thing, we've got to find the thing that proves you're a hypocrite. We've got to find the thing that. So if a celebrity flies to a march about the environment, about climate change, how dare you fly? How dare you fly there? You used all this carbon to fly. And she's got the courage of her convictions, and she actually doesn't just talk the talk; she walks the walk. And I'm in awe of her. I think she's bloody fantastic. Anyway, so there you go. And also we've got another super chat. So I'm just going to say that, and I'll let everyone else talk. Puddinator, thank you. Had the displeasure of Andrew Bridgen, canvassing today, trying to support us. Trying to support for his independent seat.
Oh, he's mental.
He wasn't ready for someone politically knowledgeable. Puddinator, tell us more about your run-in with Bridgen.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we need to know more on that.
That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine him turning up at your house? My God.
I'd have a lot of words for him. I'd be like, why are you calling for the death penalty for NHS workers, you fucking mentalist? That's what I'd say to him. Jesus Christ. Did you see that video?
Let's get Bridget and Tansky together. Let's make that happen.
I would take him on. I reckon I could take him. I'd work out.
No, just
wasn't his wife going on Twitter to say that he was a wrong un?
His wife is saying that she did a piece for the Times in which she talks about how he has been radicalised, fully radicalised by the anti-vax lot. Hence why he was last week in Parliament standing up saying that he believes in the death penalty for NHS workers administering fucking vaccines. Also, he apparently chucked her and her kid out when her kid was sick, and she's battling to try and keep her kid in the UK, who is dual national, because she's from Eastern Europe, I believe. Her kid is dual national. So he basically made his own wife and allegedly, reportedly, according to her, homeless. He's been taken in by the vax cult. He's gone fully sideways. And as someone whose friends, I had a few friends that went that way, really good old mates who lost their heads over COVID. It's really disturbing when it happens because
same here.
reason with them because
Yeah.
they're just beyond, they're radicalized. A bit like the kind of I think it's the same way that people go when they go ultra far right, when they go ultra anti-trans. It's like a radicalization process that like you need to get kind of like preventing. A bit like Trump, actually. Like his lot are totally radicalized. And she's been spilling the tea on Twitter, replying to his tweets, calling him a liar. I think it was a select committee appearance saying, "Oh, you're going to tell them about all the lies you told Andrew, etc." She's been razzing him, and I tell you what, I could not have followed her any quicker. I followed her really quick as soon as I saw that tweet, and I put notifications on for all her incoming tweets, and she has been spilling the tea on Twitter about him. He is he's gone. Like he needs some intervention.
Puddinator in the chat said he tried to rewrite history. I brought up his NHS comments and he tried gaslighting, saying it wasn't about the NHS. This is when he said that we need to bring back the death penalty for doctors and nurses. This is how far this guy is cracked. I pointed out I'm anti-death penalty, but would make an exception for him.
Perfect.
Yay.
Perfect. Oh my god! I think we'll sit him next to George Galloway. Be fine.
Was he in the Commons? He was sitting next to John.
No, that's where they should sit him.
Galloway.
Yeah, I forgot. He's fucking got back in, hasn't he?
Oh god, that guy is, I tell you, mental as well.
This is gonna.
Cheers, Rachel. Cheers for bringing that up.
I like to bring you down. You know, from your buzz. You know,
people latching onto him as if he's some.
It's going to be a shit show.
He's a fucking opportunist. He's a blatant opportunist.
100%.
He's not going to be there long though, is he? I mean, once the election happens, Labour are seriously going to hit that seat hard.
They are definitely.
So, you know, I think this is going to be a flash.
He's a cuckoo. He just flies into each nest. That's
But John, think of the damage that little prick can do in that time.
He can't do anything. He's independent. Like he's got no power really.
He's going to stand up at PMQs now and again, and the beautiful thing is he can't actually ask a question of Starmer. He can only ask a question of Sunak.
Oh.
So you know, it's all hogwash as always with him.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is surgeries and his propagandizing that he's going to do in his constituency, he's going to cause a lot of shit because of his ego.
I don't think he will. I don't think he's got the legs for it. I mean, I think that I really don't think. I mean, it's a very binary issue that he stood on, one that he is exploiting for his own ends massively, which is really grim. Which is the Gaza situation, but he's no friend of, you know, marginalized communities, especially Muslims. I mean, he denied the genocide happening in China. Like, I actually denied the genocide. I mean, he is insane, actually insane. And people will, you know, gradually see the truth about him. But he's always been a kind of like friend of the dictators. He's not a friend to people that are suffering oppression on any level. He's just using them. It's so grim. And then the sad thing is, because a lot of people are very desperate about this really horrible stuff that's going on in Gaza, that they've kind of they've sadly kind of fallen for it briefly. But people don't fall for shit forever, you know. They'll see what he is.
Yeah.
Could I say to add to that?
Sorry.
No, go on, mate, if you want.
No, I was just going to say to your point, Tan, like his ego is all about him furthering his own needs. So he's basically going to go with whatever is trendy to get himself more power, more notoriety, and all that sort of stuff. And that's why he's a dangerous man, because he's not genuine. He's not legit. He's not like. And the left, a proper politician.
Sadly, there's elements of the left that will latch to the new daddy figurehead that's saying everything they want to hear, the populist kind of figure, and they won't think to look any deeper, and then they'll like denounce anyone that talks about the truth about what he's doing as being, oh, you're a centrist. No, mate, I've read books. I've read about Galloway. I know what he's like. Fuck's sake.
It's just, I can't stand the guy. I've never been able to stand the guy, quite frankly. But let's just not forget, though, that the by-election was the most weirdest, uniquest by-election in a generation.
Yeah.
You know, he effectively, you could argue that he didn't win it. He kind of reversed into it because you had the problems with the Lib Dem candidate.
That is it, John. That is a great shout. That is a.
It's true though. He reversed into it. For Labour, to their credit, just completely just blew the whole thing out themselves. You know, the Lib Dem guy wasn't sure probably where Rochdale was. The Greens virtually disemboweled their own candidate. So, you know, when you've got Galloway that can win it, and then this guy, this local car salesman that came second, it just shows that actually it was just a one-off, weird, unique by-election. Come the general election, Labour are going to absolutely carpet that place.
I agree with you, but like fucking Danzuk, like the guy who was sexting teenagers, was the Reform candidate there.
There you go.
Richard Price going, oh, it wasn't fair. It wasn't a fair campaign. Mate, you stood a fucking nonce. That's why. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, he was ex-Labour. Technically, may not be a nonce. I'll have to retract on that before. Wait, sue me.
Allegedly.
Sue me.
It was just the quality of the candidates there, and apologies to the other candidates perhaps, but you know, they could have had Ian Watkins in there as a bloody candidate. You know,
whoa, don't fucking mention that.
Do you know what I mean? No, but I mean that as in it was such a bad choice of candidates, right? It really was.
National Lampoon.
It was Gary Glitter could have gone in for it. I mean, honestly, it was just a bad by-election. So
I'm gonna jump in now because
you better jump in, Graham.
Yeah, I better jump in. Got a couple of super chats. Thank you very much, Emma. Thank you very much, Emma. Gonna make it worse. My Tory MP's campaign manager has resigned. Should I apply? Yes.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I get through the interview. Just keep lying. And don't be Googleable. Use a fake name. That's my top tip. Yeah. Johnny Copperhead, £5 super chat. Cheers. May election, Galloway won't defend his seat because he wants the publicity of the London mayoral contest. So thank you very much.
Everything's going so well for Susan Hall.
Oh my God.
I've got another voice.
I'm going to see what celebrity show is going to be up for him.
Suzanne Hall is hilarious. Wasn't there someone who resigned just out of disgust at the fact that Susan Hall was picked as the
I hope
London
so.
mayor?
We had Rosendale on the campaign trail with her, the guy that was bailed 4 or 5 times for rape, abuse of power, and then the police suddenly just dropped the case, and everyone's going, oh, he's innocent. And then there's Sunak welcoming his honourable friend back, and his first question's about fucking crime, and it's Jesus Christ, like, I'm not going to stop going on about Rosendale. Come for me, Rosendale. Don't give a fuck.
I wrote a song about Rosendale in AI, and it was brilliant. Have you heard it? It's good. It came out really well. This is all AI lyrics, and it made this whole song about Andrew Rosendale.
Not being funny, mate, but you've taken the piss with AI. You've got hold of the old AI, and you've gone mad with it. I've seen your pictures, your songs, and to be honest with you, they are really funny. But you've like my other Aid too. Aid's gone mad with the AI. He started creating like kind of like Jesus versions of himself with AI. Aid Thompson created this kind of like godlike statue of himself in AI. And on one hand, I think it's really funny. On the other hand, I'm scared that it's going to make us all house cats.
Already am one.
Yeah.
I wish
Galloway was.
I'd love to be a house cat.
Yeah, to be fair, Tan, you've got experience with house cats, haven't you?
Oh yeah, they're both a pair of absolute
right. So in previous weeks on the Labour Social, I've been a bit late going. So what's your news story of the week? And we've overrun massively. I really don't want to overrun today because I've done so much streaming today. It's kind of painful. I just want to go to bed.
Now you're pulling rank. Rank.
Yeah. So does anyone want to go first for your story of the week?
Oh no, I don't. Definitely not. No.
John, what's your story of the week? Pick on John.
I've got a couple. One's non-political, which is a guy from Chelmsford. I'll say it properly. Is going to be driving an 18-year-old. He's going to be driving for Ferrari in the Formula One Grand Prix.
Oh my goodness!
An 18-year-old kid from Chelmsford, where I am.
Hey, mate,
is filling in for Carlos Sainz. I think that's an incredible story, but that's not political.
Not as incredible as the 11-year-old who was pulled over today.
Oh yeah, with a caravan or something.
Towing a caravan in a BMW.
What the hell? I know.
Yeah, that literally happened today.
Kudos.
On the M1. He robbed the caravan. I don't know if he robbed the car as well, but he definitely robbed the caravan.
Oh, that's astounding. But no, the only other week story obviously is the week budget. And the damp squib that's gonna that's upset a lot of their old voters. Brilliant. I mean, they've upset enough voters. They've now upset their old ones too, which is fantastic.
Tories all the way.
Yeah, no Hoyle as well during the budget. It was weird as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I noticed that.
No what?
No the speaker. They switched out the speaker. It wasn't Hoyle.
It was Eleanor. Wasn't Ellen?
Oh, I thought you said no oil.
Yeah. Oh, we got lots of oil. They're flogging it. Yeah.
For a second there, John, I thought you had a raven behind you, like a proper goth.
I've got a raven.
Like a proper
I love the idea that these goths go around with a raven behind them, just following them, saying nevermore.
Nevermore.
I'm an Essex girl. We have ravens.
Eleanor, you've got the cure. You've got all the cure.
That's hilarious.
I'll go next then, shall I?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
My absolute fucking legend of the week is the woman that sprayed bastard on the statue of Margaret Thatcher. She is actually my, gangster of the year already. I'm crowning her as it. So big up yourself, whoever you are, mystery pensioner lady. You are my hero.
Oh.
And also, if they do identify you and fine you, I will personally crowdfund for you, and then I'll take you out for loads of beer.
Yay!
Can we interject here with an audio version of Gangster's Paradise?
Yeah. Or it'd be next episode by Dre. Na 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 na.
That's a great shout. That's a great shout.
Oh shit!
Gangster
she's
Granny.
a legend. Absolute legend.
Wayne, what was your story of the week?
I'm just disgusted about the 15 grand that we've paid.
Because there's two.
Yes. No, only one was paid out by taxpayers' money. The other one was
both
paid...
of them were. So there was Liz Truss
really?
And her 15 grand bar bill that she ran up on the way to Australia in her private jet that we paid for.
No, I'm talking about the slander.
There's Michelle Donnellan, who said about two academics that they were Hamas sympathizers, and they were suspended from their jobs while this was being investigated. And she put it on Twitter, and it actually went through her department, and they said, yeah, this is okay to put on Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely horrific, and that's why John should have gone last, because he had a great and finally story. Which is like uplifting and happy, and I'm like coming back with like
I don't know, we haven't heard Rachel's yet. Rachel's might be
what a lovely story.
What a lovely story.
And finally tonight,
Rachel, you better have a really lovely story.
Come on, Rachel, darling. Pull
no pressure.
Bring us sunshine.
Does anyone want to get Larry and Paul on the show next week?
I'd love that.
Should we have a bit of an all-stars next week? Because we've got a big guest coming next week. So we'll get Larry and Paul on.
Excuse me, you got the all-stars here? What's going on? What?
Well, no.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
We're here already.
Really could
I'm
happen.
top drawer, lad. I'm top drawer.
I mean, that was another good news story this week that Dave Rowntree, giving you a good link here, Graham, is standing as Labour councillor in Mid-Sussex.
He is. He's going to be standing as Labour councillor.
Yes.
We should speak to him, Tam.
MP.
We already have. We met him.
Have you got his number? Stay tuned. Stay tuned, my friends.
We have a link in the sense of me and him have the same guitar, so it might be.
He's a drummer. He's a drummer, Wayne. He's a drummer.
But he's got the same guitar as me.
Oh, has he? Even though he's a drummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he do the sticks on it?
That's
Colin,
not how it
Colin,
works.
hang on. We've had a point of order. And it's a super chat of order. I need to get one of these. I need to get like an animation that says super chat of order. Should we do that? I'm going to make it.
Yeah, definitely.
Colin, the speaker doesn't chair the budget debate. There you go. Didn't know that.
Rachel, did we have your good news?
No,
yeah, it was brilliant. It was really good. Titanic.
No, we're waiting.
We're waiting.
We're waiting for you.
Save the best for last.
Well, does it have to be good news? Or
no, just your news story of the week, the thing that you want to highlight, flag up, talk about.
I mean, there was the story about Leiden. Punk rebelling against the machine.
John Lydon, Johnny Rotten.
That's why I've got a pile on all day. That is, yeah.
So is he saying that we need to conform now? What we need to do is conform.
Well, he's blaming immigrants on the fabric of society coming apart on the coat.
Inside specifically, and it's it's got nothing to do with the fact that, like, obviously everyone went on package holidays and decades of underinvestment.
And is this John Lydon from the Sex Pistols? Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols? Who's turned into King Gammon in his old age.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what happens. It's like the guy from the Smiths. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, hang on a minute, you're raging against this stuff.
Oh, I'm glad I never liked either of them, to be fair.
Morrissey and Lydon can fuck off.
I honestly, I was a big fan of the Sex Pistols and a big fan of the Smiths. And I was a big fan of Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I was talking to...
It's like I knew. I was like, I knew.
All right.
I've never watched any Harry Potter films ever.
It's not already.
This is like when Game of Thrones ended so badly, and so many people were like absolutely heartbroken by how shit the ending was, because they ran out of books and made up the ending, and it was just stuck together with blue tack and fucking spit.
Graham, can I be a super chatter right now? Graham, can I be a super chatter right now? Rachel was making a point.
Well, I just think the point was really, it's just that a lot of these people that I admired in the 80s that raged against the machine. I mean, it was a bit like Ben Elton. He went a bit to the right and a bit conservative, and now he's sort of gone back to the left again. And it's sort of, hang on a minute, you raged against these people, and we admired you for that when I was a young teenager, and then suddenly you go, that is just cuts you deep when you're still on the left and you're still fighting for what we fight for, and then these people have just gone, actually I've got a house and I've got quite a lot of money and I'm doing all right, thanks very much, I'm off to the right. See ya.
Do you think, Rachel, that rich people just go evil?
I don't know.
Well, not all do. Borders is a fucking ledge. So is Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of wealthy people who do a lot. They work. They work their money. They earn their money. They work hard. But
what is it that inoculates people who become rich from becoming cunty?
The word billion.
I think Morrissey was always a bit of a twat. I mean, I appreciate the music of the Smiths.
Yeah.
I appreciate Johnny Marr as being a fucking ledge, because he always has been. I appreciated nothing about the Sex Pistols, so I thought they were just a bunch of fucking wankers. Crass all the way for me. If you...
Oh, and really shit musicians, really shit.
Always, really shit. I've always been a massive, and McLaren was a tosser too. So I've never really had much time. I mean, I love Vivian Westwood though.
His son's all right though. I used to work with his son. Sorry to cut in. His son's really nice.
Oh well, I mean, he escaped. Maybe it skips a generation.
Yeah.
But
I had Desmond Swain's daughter come stay on my island over in Panama, a few years ago. Yeah, she's lovely.
Oh, sorry. Did you just mic drop? I've got an island.
I mean, you've never mentioned
it. We should have that bingo. We should have Graham bingo. We want a button for Graham bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Island. Public school.
Public school. You deserve love too.
Everyone wanker.
Yeah, I get postcards from this bloke who goes to places I didn't go.
Have I told you about my shit new passport? Can I tell you about it?
Passport.
Graham, I've still got a cloud one. Fuck you.
Look at how cute Fred is, though.
Oh, Fred is absolutely loving it.
You hear his little purrs?
Yeah, he's gonna fuck your sofa up in a minute.
He already has. He's ruined everything, but I still love him because he does this little cute thing with his head.
He's just waiting to.
Mine's sitting here next to me.
Oh, show us, John.
No, he's asleep. He's asleep. No.
Oh, never wake a sleeping cat. They'll just go.
Not mine. He just like.
I think.
Look at Frederick though. Look at little
He's
Frederick.
so cute.
He's little nose.
I think that I missed. I didn't miss a super chat. I was going to say. So my news story of the week. I got to say, probably is J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Being absolutely horrible to India, and it was just horrible to see, and it was one of those things where it was always on the cards, wasn't it? Like there was going to be one day where J.K. Rowling would just be like, she'd have a couple of Chevys, and she'd be like, I'm going to go on the internet a bit drunk and say horrible things. But it is, I'm kind of like embarrassed for her that she is this J.K. Rowling. She is the richest author in the world. And online, she behaves like a teenage boy, in his mum's basement, trolling people, trolling people. That's something you can do for free. You don't need money for that. You don't need any power or influence or a compendium of works that you've written.
I saw on Byline Times.
You need an internet connection.
Did somebody put it in our chat in Neighbour Social that India's reported it as a hate crime?
Yeah. Quite right.
She has, and she's had a lot of support. I'm glad about that. But I mean, initially, like I just thought again, not to make any of it about me, fuck no. But it gave me a really solid insight into exactly what it's like. Like I've never really experienced that. No, I have actually had a turf pylon before.
Oh yeah,
with J.K. Rowling, and it gave you, as you say, with your kind of ally training. That's a good idea to give to people to give them insight into exactly what it's like.
Yeah, but
like,
just say
nothing.
Sorry. No, just say you love trans people. Tin hats on, everybody, and then watch it comes at you.
It is insane, and it's but India did have love and support, thankfully, from our group. From our Movement Forward group, from the Stop the Tories lot. She's in our group chat.
Brilliant.
She had support elsewhere, and for once it actually made the national press, which it rarely does. I mean, the only people that tend to get time on that is transphobes.
Yeah.
So it was good that now we've got like a record of what she's capable of.
Yeah.
But she's just a hateful loser. I mean, I can't imagine why. I mean, anyone with that much money and success with what they've done,
and
not
fandom.
my cup of tea.
Yeah,
and fandom.
Go on Mumsnet, look at the trans threads on there. They're just
I have no idea about all of this. Like, this is the thing. Like, I suppose that's my privilege in a way, in terms of not having to suffer that. But it took me down a massive rabbit hole. I mean, I've known for some time from friends that are trans telling me all stuff. But to experience it firsthand,
they're obsessive. They're rabid.
You get a real insight, and the only other people that have ever targeted me like that have actually been the hard right, far right, or Corbynites actually, or what appear to be Corbynites on Twitter. So you never know who they really are. They could just be bloody Tufton bots. You never know. But it's
Joe, I feel really sorry for this entire generation that grew up with Harry Potter, who were queer, and they saw in the Harry Potter story the story of a boy who was told not to keep it quiet, don't tell anyone what you are, it's all got to be a big this embarrassing secret for the family, and then he discovers this amazing magical world beyond what he could imagine, and he's part of it. And loads of people saw it as an allegory.
That's right.
For being gay. And then they've grown up with that, and then that really helped a lot of young people. And then she's just shat all over it. She's just destroyed her own legacy.
I mean, LGBT people loved it, and we fight it, about misfits going to school, finding their friends, and growing and becoming, and that has been, from my partner who's trans as well. She loved the books, loved the film. In fact, we used to say for a while, we said we can separate the artist from the art. We can park her over there. can't do that now. We can't watch the films, can't watch the books. You know, and it's, you know, a lot of LGBT people say that J.K. Rowling is Voldemort, and that's, you know, that's kind of that's how it feels. But she just poisoned the whole franchise.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Harry Potter. I get what Tan's saying, because they are quite unrealistic books.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ginger kid in school. He's got 2 friends and one's a girl. Anyway, moving on. I've got a quick super chat, and I'll come to you, Wayne. Alec, thank you very much. Says, I liked it when Varish told J.K. Rowling to shut up and make a sandwich. I don't know what that refers to, but there you go.
Is that Vosh? What's his name?
Vosh. V-A-U-S-H.
Vosh.
I don't know.
Vosh, he's a streamer. He's
big following.
A very big streamer. Yeah, big streamer.
Shut up and make a sandwich.
There's a lot of good trans content. It's got some stuff, weird stuff as well, but the trans content's really supportive generally.
Yeah. He's got some extreme views. Oh, Tan's gone. What's going on?
I don't know. The cat probably.
But
we've only got
the
9
reason
minutes
that,
left.
Yeah. Okay. I'll quickly fly through this. The reason that this kind of subject resonated with me is because I picked Sienna up from school the other day, and she's got one of these, like, where she goes swimming, it's like a big sort of cloaky hoodie kind of thing, and I said, "You look like a ring wraith," and she's like, "What's a ring wraith?" So I then had to show her the clip of Lord of the Rings, where our lady pulls her helmet off and stabs him in the face and said, "I am no woman. Sorry, I am no man," and like just beats the biggest fucking double R geezer in the entire series of Lord of the Rings. And I was like, yeah, that's my girl. That's why I'm calling you that. It's just one of them things, man. I want my daughters to know that they can be double R'd. They don't need to.
Yep.
They don't need to conform to what society tells them to be. And I've got their backs in every way, shape, or form. So,
but I think in the next few years, we really need to have a massive kickback against this turfy, bigoted bullshit.
Oh.
This movement of women who seem to want to make their own fucking lives more difficult.
Yeah.
Because they don't necessarily look particularly feminine. And they're going, well, we want people who look like me to get challenged in public toilets when they're just going in for a wee. And it's like, is that the future you want? Is that what you want? I don't understand, like, why they would want that. J.K. Rowling herself, I mean.
But it is this, it's, you know, you're seeing it play out in America in fast time. It's not just trans rights. You know, a lesbian attacks a trans woman. I go, as I said to you before, it's your ship you're sinking, because they're coming for you and same-sex marriage, same-sex adoption, and black rights, and over to women's rights, women voting. They're already talking about. They've
come for IVF treatment.
Like the North Carolina guy, the governor, doesn't want women voting. He wants federal ban on abortion. That's happening here. Heritage Foundation Project 2025 is in London now. The right wing of the Tories talk to them. Art conference, Edward Burke conference. It is women shouldn't be having education. Women should be having white babies. Women, that is their messaging. Trans rights, get us out the way, weakens LGBT rights. It's why that's why those think tanks have set this up. That organization is there to break the tier way, so LGBT will topple, and then women's right. There's nobody to stand against, because LGBT people, obviously half of us are women and non-binary, etc. So we're not there. Women's rights will topple, and there won't be anybody to stand in that way. And that's why they push the rise of the incel movement. They try to break the T. They try to divide us. And women who attack trans women, they're going to be very surprised when they're suddenly wearing a white hood and a red cloak and wondering where all their rights went. But it's the people behind this are the same people attacking us.
You're spot on there, because homophobia is the gatekeeper, basically, of misogyny, and vice versa. So you're spot on.
Right, Rachel. I've said to you before, the biggest misnomer when it comes to trans rights, when it comes to the bathroom. Please explain to me the disabled toilet, because we all go there. We can all go there, but no one gives a shit about that. So why is that not a problem? But we have to have these separate areas for other people. If you go to the Indigo in the O2, in London, it's just a massive area with cubicles. There's no actual like toilet.
It works better for women anyway, because we're always stuck in. Graham's pointed this out before. Graham pointed this out at Blur, which was really like, considering how drunk we kind of were at Blur, you did really well to do that, because he was like, "Look at this. This is a building designed by men. Look at all the women queuing, and look at all the men just easily going in and out." And it's so true. Like these buildings,
architectural sexism.
Architectural sexism.
That is a great fucking saying.
There's always a queue for the women's toilets. There's never a queue for the men's.
Always.
Why is that?
Because they make the toilets the same size, even though women need more space because they need cubicles.
Absolutely.
It's the only decent thing Thatcher ever did, apparently. That's the only that's a old mythical story. The only decent thing Thatcher ever did was change the toilet facility.
Oh, here we go.
Apart from that,
Tory boy.
Apart from that, it was that she changed the toilets in Downing Street, because the women's toilets were miles away from the cabinet room. So that's one little story apparently where she did do something right.
Well, it's a shame that she made like all of her cabinet men, because and tried to emulate men. That's do good. Like fucking pulled the ladder up, didn't she? But
all of the swimming pools in Durham that we go to, the mixed changing rooms, like you have cubicles, and then you come out the cubicles once you've got changed, and you go to the locker. And as a family, when we're going in together, it's brilliant, because it means that we can all go in together. What am I supposed to do if I take my stepdaughters to the swimming pool?
It's the Victorians. They came in and just said, "Oh, we've got women coming into work. We need a separate loo." And bang.
No, but Rachel, am I supposed to go into the women's with the girls, or am I supposed to take the girls into the men's? What's more dangerous for them, or what's what? That's like the whole point of having changing rooms is that you have a cubicle and you get changed in the cubicle. But the idea of getting changed in a room where everyone gets naked together is weird to me. I don't like it because I really don't like seeing other people naked if I don't want to see them naked.
What about the urinals?
Sorry, I'm a bit prudish like that.
How do you guys deal with urinals? Like getting your knob out next to another man that you don't know? That must be so weird.
Yeah, don't you ever
right. Tan, you just brought up something that I was really gonna shine on. Back in the day, Southend Council introduced these things like these outside urinals for blokes to go to.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the French ones. I remember them.
And then V Festival adopted them. And then V Festival also started giving women sheepies so they could use the same urinal.
Oh, they didn't the year that I was there. I nearly pissed myself during the Foo Fighters. Wish I'd known about that then. I did nearly. Like me and my mate discussed whether or not we should just piss ourselves during the Foo Fighters. They were so good.
Yeah.
You know,
Sarah in the chat who's trans has said, "I've given myself kidney infections as I'm afraid to use public toilets."
Sarah's right. I do that when I travel to Manchester with my partner. I don't use the service station loos. I just dehydrate yourself before you go. It's
why do you have to do that? Because of the fucking richest
people
in the world.
You might, they're gonna go. It'd be like the end of the Body Snatchers. Trans at the end with Donald Sutherland, pointing at you. You just think you're going to meet some turf in the loo who's just going to.
I wish I could accompany you to a toilet because I'd unashamedly bash them for you.
We've got to make this. We've got to shoot an episode of Father Ted. And everyone in it is trans.
I would love that.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
It'd be the fascist episode. I hear you a transphobe now, Father. Does that mean I have to be a transphobe too?
Will you have a cup of tea?
This is a weird thing. I would love to take Rachel and Tan to the toilet and be like, yeah, what you got a question? No.
Easy now, Wayne.
Swing that way.
I mean, I'm very flattered, but
Yeah, careful, Wayne. 'Cause last time I
love
tried
to
that, I
take you
got
to the
arrested.
toilet.
last time you tried that, you got arrested.
Yeah, my picture's still up on the wall though.
But to be fair, it'd be the disabled toilet at the Wild Bean Cafe at some BP station.
Wild Bean.
I think, as I said, I said, but the fact
We're
is
getting
that
classy now.
I like a Superloo anyway. I do a lot of
I'll be sitting there with a sausage roll, so you can crack on.
Hey, you're mentioning wild beans and sausages in a discussion about toilets, taking women to the toilet.
The first few Glastonburys I went to, I went on the coach and I went getting the coach home, and then you stop at the service station. You got 20 minutes to go quickly get a Whopper, and literally sit on the toilet and eat the Whopper.
Sorry, can I just say this is
to get back on the
Carry
coach.
On film script right now. This is just getting
20 minutes.
You know,
drop the boys off at the pool.
Well, you're not the first man to have eaten a Whopper on the toilet, man. I tell you that.
Hey,
oh Jesus, Ted.
Well,
are we still missing about?
If you're ever in Liverpool in Dr. Duncan's pub, over the road is a public urinal, public toilet that isn't used anymore, under St. John's Gardens, which is a little park in the city centre. And that is where, in the 1940s, Alec Guinness, who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, was arrested by the police and charged threepence halfpenny for noshing off a bloke in the toilets there. And I think there should be a blue plaque on their toilets.
Did he say these are not the cocks you're looking for?
He's more machine now than he is, man.
What a legend.
That's no moon.
What a legend. Anyway, we've got some more super chats before we go. We've got Puddinator. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. It's funny how the far right say we don't have room for asylum seekers, but we need to have more kids. Those things seem to contradict each other. Yes. We have the room and we don't. And in fact, us having kids actually costs a lot more than someone who's a fully formed human coming here.
Yeah, they don't want to help out the people if, like, say they fall on hard times and lose their job and get sick and can't work and might need a bit of help. You know, say what if the mum or the dad gets, cancer or something, they can't look after the kid. They don't want to look after the kid then. It's like America with the whole kind of like abortion thing.
Yeah.
It's like if say
you
that
love the babies until they're born.
You love the babies until they're born and parents
off.
might need some help with them. And then game over.
And they've gone further back because now it's embryos of humans. How far are they going to go back to the glint in the milkman's eye? How far are they going to
do you remember that? Do you remember that famous clip? I can't remember who exactly was shown a dolphin embryo and said, "Do you think that is a child?" And they said, "Yeah." And he went, "What's a dolphin?"
It's a fucking dolphin, mate. What are you talking about?
And in 10 years' time, it's going to beat Nigel Farage in a by-election.
Well done.
Marvelous.
I need to find that link. I'll put it in
It's
chat.
like the end of Deadpool, isn't it? That would be a real like end of Deadpool moment. Do you remember the end credits of the first Deadpool?
Yeah.
When he goes back in time and he's at like Hitler's fucking like crib and he's like.
Oh, by the way, Deadpool 3 looks fucking amazing.
I can't wait for
excellent.
Deadpool 3. Deadpool is actually, because I was always a bit about like those kind of like franchises, and my ex was massively into them.
Yeah.
And he showed me Deadpool once, and I was just hooked from the beginning. Deadpool is probably one of my favourite.
Yeah, Kick-Ass and Deadpool at the same time.
And it's all canon. Apparently, it's canon that his wife back, his girlfriend back, and
all linking into X-Men '97 as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the time variance authority or whatever it's called, the TVA.
Yeah, I'm not
TVA.
that, but like I tell you what, I did watch one other. I don't know if it was Marvel or DC. I think it was Marvel. It was about older Benedict Cobblepatch or whatever his name is.
Right.
Cumbersnatch. What's his name? He played
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
The best Sherlock Holmes ever. And the best Doctor Strange ever.
That's it.
So, wind your neck in, love.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. When I was your age, I used to watch Basil Rathbone, Wayne. You see, back in the 30s. You know,
way back
in the
when.
30s. That wasn't the 30s, Rachel. What are you talking about?
Wait, you're talking about
back in your 30s.
The rinky-dink
That
time.
old.
When are you talking about back when Jacob Rees-Mogg was only about 40?
He was never born, was he? He was
when
hatched
life
from
was
a
in
cocoon
black
at
and
the age
white.
of 40.
Back when everything was in black and white, everyone travelled by penny farthing. That was when he was in his 40s.
When you had to tune your TV by moving the aerial like this.
I honestly, my little brother did think that everything before the age of Technicolor was black and white. He thought people were in black and white.
There was a Goodies episode where they wanted to make started a television channel, and he went and painted everybody black and white.
Yeah.
We've got some suggestions in the chat, by the way. Duke Ventures is saying that we should have an all trans Harry Potter series.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Oh, that would be.
And Unquiet Spirits is saying transphobic beasts and where to find them.
Perfect.
GHK, thank you very much for the super chat. Hate to say it, Thatcher also pushed for the CFC ban, which is true.
Yeah.
And if we had someone with a chemistry degree leading a major economy now, we might be doing something about climate change, but we're not, because everyone basically running the world at the moment is a dickhead.
Great.
I might have an expert that could speak to that CFC ban, who's a professor.
Even a total cock is right twice a day. That's the phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, just because she did a couple of things that are all right. I mean, apparently, that 30s dictator could paint. It doesn't mean everything's all right, does it? Like,
and he was a great dog owner as well. He was a lover of dogs and a great Austrian painter. So come on, give the guy a break, yeah.
Yeah, he's a vegetarian and all.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, there's clearly a freak. Clearly,
history has been wrong.
When I was single, my friends always liked every Valentine's Day to send me the old Valentines of even Hitler had a girlfriend.
That's what my friends used to say.
You're less desirable than Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad
Thanks, guys.
isn't it? Like, it is. Yeah.
But yeah,
when you think about it, he did, which makes every single person feel really sad.
And he helped create the Volkswagen Beetle.
You can actually see it.
Can we stop kind of bigging up Hitler?
Is Kanye West joining us?
We've gone a bit weird.
No,
I love the fact that Tan just actually had to say out loud, can we stop bigging up Hitler, please?
Please. No. The fellow was a cunt. But mind you, a lot of our politicians now, it feels very, very similar. And fascism creeps in slowly. It's not jackboots to the neck initially. Yeah. I mean, and misogyny and marginalization of vulnerable groups is a huge part of the initial warning signs of fascism.
Yep.
And looking at things now, you kind of can understand how historically it was allowed to happen, or how it managed to happen. And that's the really worrying thing. It's because it's so gradual and it's so slow.
Yep.
It doesn't all kind of happen all at once, and not all of a sudden, whipping out the camps. But mind you, the British did invent the camps with the Boer War and World War, and the horrific things that they did to those people. And but then there's also horrific historical parallels between what they did in the Boer War and the Marsden camps that the government had for the asylum seekers, how they allowed nature to take its course with pestilence and illness and such. So I never thought we'd see it in our times. I mean, this government's done so many horrific things that it's really hard to actually keep track of everything they've done. It's like you have to have, it's like War and Peace. It's Yeah,
Massively.
it's really
Massively.
shit.
I find that time because when the people are having debates on TV, and like when someone says, "Oh well, what the Tories have done, what's so bad about what they've done?" and then there's just so many things. It's like having too many options on Netflix. You can't like pick one because there's just so many of them. You get that like paralysis of choice. You're like, "Oh my god, there's so many things to say," and you're like,
it's like the opposite of a spoil of riches, isn't it? It's like a spoil of shit.
Yeah.
That's all shitless.
Yeah.
Questionable absanity. Thank you very much for the super chat. Teresa Coffey has a chemistry degree.
Wow.
That mad bag of rugs. Fucking like.
And we're getting some love for Hitler. Someone pointed out.
Cigar smoking tent.
Someone points out the chat. Someone points out the chat that Hitler did in fact kill Hitler.
Oh.
What?
So there's Hitler killed Hitler.
No, he's still kicking back in Argentina right now.
Did you even just say we're getting some love for Hitler in the chat? I mean, that is one of the maddest phrases I've ever heard you say.
There's a really good book Stephen Fry wrote called Making
Sarcastic
History.
book.
I don't know if anybody read it. And it's about two Cambridge scientists who can open a wormhole and send something back in time. So they send a birth control pill back to the well near Hitler's parents, and Hitler doesn't get born. I'm not going to tell you what happens after that, but then the world changes, and it's a really good story.
That's a good prologue.
Making History, yeah.
I'm gonna get that on me.
What's it called?
Making History by Stephen Fry.
Oh,
I liked it.
Good old Steve. He's a good
do that
lad.
right now.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up actually. Making History.
I love Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry is just a good egg.
Yeah.
I still want to know whether or not Deadpool did actually like maybe.
Right, Tan, I will take you to Deadpool 3 premiere when it comes out. Okay.
You're going to the premiere of Deadpool 3?
Yeah, I can.
No, he's going to the midnight showing at the local.
Down the Ilford Palais, you know.
Yeah, just the everyman. It'd be me, you, and a pizza.
every man for themselves.
Are you gonna get tickets? Are you gonna get tickets for the premiere?
I can pull some strings, and I can probably.
Do you reckon?
No, I don't reckon.
Deadpool, come on,
dude, trust me.
Come on.
I've got some connections, and there's no way in fucking hell I'd get tickets to the Deadpool premiere ever, like ever.
The only premiere I've been to was Star Wars Episode 3.
Well, that's a pretty cool premiere, to be fair. Like, I mean, not for me because I'm not really into Star Wars, but
not for me because I'm into Star Wars, and it was a bit shit.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, and they were all of those.
That 1977 then, Graham, was it?
No, that would have been A New Hope.
What's it, Granddad?
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Tell me
7,
about
8, 9.
the old days, Granddad.
Tell us.
Tell us what it was like back when you was young.
Can you go outside and just yell at clouds right now?
before CGI came and made everything uncanny valley. Super chat. Thank you very much to Emma Price for the last super chat of the night, because we are going to have to wrap it up in a minute. I'm vegetarian. Don't knock it. With the shit coming over the border and hormone-injected beef, I don't normally preach. No, Emma, I honestly, I've got so much respect. And I think that there should be a national campaign for getting people, not necessarily to become vegetarian or vegan, but to have to become more vegetarian, like have days where you have a meat-free Friday or whatever it is.
I mean, a lot of people are doing that naturally, though. Like that is there has been a massive
afford
shift.
it anymore. Yeah,
because we were skint.
Yeah.
All they can afford is a
luxury.
wank and a pot noodle nowadays. Yeah. If that, maybe just the wank, really, like the pot noodle. That's inflation for you.
I can't even afford that.
For our own health and for the future of the planet, like vegetarian food is the way forward. Like,
big saving.
Beef is horrifically bad for the environment.
It's all right. We're going to be well too late, and the planet's going to die anyway. It's like don't look up. But can I just put a bit of appreciation for the fact that this, on my screen anyway, this section of the chat or the group is purely Essex crew. We're like the Three Swords tonight. There's Malta and Wayne giving it Essex vibes.
Wow.
Got Chelmsford crew. Got
Wallop.
happened.
sometimes on this, it's just like it's the northern lot in it. We have a bunch of Yorkshire people and
where are you, H? Where are you based?
Well, I lived in Southwood and Ferrers and worked in
I
Basildon.
get Essex.
Whoa!
Oh, shut up!
Oh, you just completely
I
don't on me here.
I don't live there now, but I worked when I worked in defence. I worked for GC and I worked
Southwood and Ferrers. Give it some, come on.
My guy,
I lived next door to the Curlew in Southwood and Ferrers.
Well, no, hang on. I lived. Stop, everybody, stop. I lived in Tyfield Walk.
Oh right, there you go.
I live in Tyfield Walk, which is just opposite the Curlew.
How
long ago are we talking here?
I was Gandalf something or other. Right?
Gandalf's Ride. It's named after Lord of the Rings.
Gandalf's Ride.
Yeah.
The whole Lord of the Rings is the same.
1990.
I would have been a bit. I was still in town. I was still around then, actually, but not in that area. But I moved to, about 98. I moved down to near opposite the Curlew. Bloody hell!
I know. There you go.
Oh well, eh?
Basildon. We used to go to Raquel's.
I DJ'd at Raquel's once. Bloody hell!
You guys ever go to Dukes or what was the
Dukes?
Other one? Zeus.
Zeus.
Yeah,
Zeus.
I did my first underage drinking at Zeus, like all the old nets and the bloody.
I'm so glad you said drinking after underage.
Hey chat. Should we just go and do our own thing? We'll just leave all these Essex people to it.
Oh, sorry, Graham. I'm sorry. Mr. Inventor.
I'm going and I'm taking the chat with me.
You're an honorary Essex lad now.
No, I don't want to be. I'll get a nosebleed if I go that far.
Too late, mate. You are.
Yeah, I'm fucking dragging you down, sunshine.
Yeah, man. They'll pay for your train, even though it'll cost about £1 million.
I am one of the ring wraiths bringing you down.
No, you take the ring, Gandalf. Do not tempt me.
There you go.
Rachel's got the hood.
We'll nick Rishi's helicopter and get you down south. That's what we'll do.
That was more.
I won't fit in it because he's only got a tiny helicopter because he's only tiny.
Oh
it's
yeah,
a Lapusian helicopter that he flies around in.
Tan, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is buy a car from Liverpool. They'll send it down to you and then nick it back. So we'll get him anyway.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to Ruth for the super chat. Scotland here, even though you're crap at our politics, Graham, and especially Phil. Thank you very much for the super chat, Ruth. No, I'm all for Scottish independence, and I quite like the SNP. I just think they've been a bit out of order the last few weeks.
Point of order. Right, can we at least talk on Scottish and Welsh politics next week, because I feel they get neglected.
Yes. Okay. Well,
discourse.
Not next week because we have a special guest next week, but the week after, I will make a special effort to get someone representing Scotland.
Graham, have you announced a special guest for next week?
No, I haven't. We have alluded to it though. We have definitely alluded to it, but it's not confirmed yet, so I don't want to say it's definitely going to happen. And then it doesn't happen, and everyone's disappointed.
It really, really, really could.
It really, really, really could happen.
There's no other way of doing it.
I mean, the is imminent. I mean, we're talking about the death of the part. I mean, girls and boys, their rights matter. You know, girls.
I'm just gonna get my guitar. I'm gonna get my guitar right now.
What's that?
We could do it from the house. You know, they're a very big
house. The big house
in the country.
Yeah, in the country.
Yeah.
Tan, she's so high, isn't she?
But to be honest with you, like, park life matters. I mean,
I get rudely awakened in the morning by the milkman.
We're losing our parks. Parks matter. Park life matters.
Sorry, what did you say? I was too busy reading my Balzac and knocking back the Prozac.
All right, don't get tender.
Right. I'm gonna put this.
You're being a childless man at this moment. I mean, just calm down.
I do know my claret from my Beaujolais.
We are boys who love girls, who love boys who love girls. You see, we are.
Look. At the end of the day, we're on the internet, and the universal is free.
The universal is free. The universal credit is free, though.
It is the next century. It really is.
It is.
As an Abertorian, I love hanging around with you common people because I want to be with the common people.
So next week, it looks like our special guest might well be Noel Gallagher. So tune in for that. It'll be awesome. The
By
Big
the way,
Hon,
he's
thank you very much. The Big
20th
Hon
century boy.
with a super chat that just said, woohoo! I don't know what they're referring to. Thank you very much for the super chat. So join us next week for the Labour Social. I'll be on the morning, what's it called? The Sunday roast with
that's great.
with Maximilian Robespierre and Alex Political X. Yeah, I'll be on there on Sunday. So watch out for that on Political X's channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do that. And we'll be back next week. Is everyone here coming back next week?
You bet
this is gonna be like each week we have a Zoom meeting with Josh, and normally about like 5 or 6 people turn up to them, and then one week we had Carol Vorderman and literally 30 people turned up for this meeting.
Fantastic.
Well, that's. I mean, this show. I mean, to be honest with you though, like I do pretty regularly tune in, but I'm definitely going to tune in. Definitely going to be on Labour Social next Friday. I cannot wait to share space with that wonderful person who was not.
If they confirm.
Oh, they're not confirmed.
Well, it's just
end of a sentence.
I don't want to jinx it. Jinx it, Tan.
Graham is doing a massive bait and switch right now.
I like it. It's keeping us on our toes.
Yes,
yeah, it's all right because I'm going to have my coffee and TV. So.
I'm going to say something completely different.
Yes, anyway. Actually.
Thank you so much to our guests, Rachel and John and Wayne and Tan. How you doing?
Part life.
Thank you. Part life. And until next time, I'll say thank you very much for the wonderful comments and the super chats and being there. Please give us a like on the way out because that's always good for the algorithm, apparently. So more people will get to see the shows in future. And until next time, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.